Kristen.
Hey Jennine, how's it going?
It's going good. It's going good. I'm getting ready to go to Mexico City. It's like summer and like all of these kinds of things. And
Exciting.
so, yeah. And like, I was just wondering, with summer times, like, I hear a lot of people have like concerns about showing parts of their body, even though in the heat, and they don't know how to dress for the heat.
Yeah. Honestly, I have a problem with that myself often. And I realize it's this like internalized, sort of misogyny sometimes because I'm like, oh, I have fat arms and I can't show my arms, or,
Mhm.
like I mean, you can't show my like I don't wear shorts. I sort of aspire to wear shorts again someday. But
Mm,
I never wear shorts. I don't own any shorts. I actually ordered a pair of shorts that I thought might work for me, but I'm returning them.
yeah.
But yeah, so I'm not proud that I feel all these ways, but yet all these thoughts live rent free in my brain.
Yeah.
So it's sometimes, I don't know, inspiring to see influencers who are just kind of like wearing whatever they want in the summer and not worrying about all that stuff. I don't know. How do you deal? I don't know. Do you have any of that?
Yeah, well, I have like my eternal like stomach issues and stuff because I have a bee belly and like it's like my mom and my belly go back until like early childhood. So it's a thing. But I do feel like, like even though this is like a summer thing, I do feel like coming to terms with your body and like showing being comfortable, like, showing your arms or wearing shorts or wearing like these pieces they do help you even like all year round and stuff because they help you learn to love yourself.
Yeah.
And this is why I'm like really excited to bring on our next guest, Angel Edme, who is a creator. She is also in a larger body and she has incredible style, like incredible style.
Incredible style.
Yes.
Yeah, to die for style. I mean, I wasn't familiar with her before you showed me her page, and I was just like, oh my God, immediate follow, totally
Yeah.
obsessed with her. And just like super inspiring, like
Mhm.
in so many ways, not just aesthetically, but just like, thinking about ways to change your mindset about yourself
Mhm.
and all sorts of other things. So I'm super excited to
Yeah.
talk to her.
Yeah. Well, let's go talk to her
Let's
then.
do it.
Hi, welcome to the Closet Philosophy Podcast. This is Jennine. I'm a personal stylist.
And this is Kristen. I'm a fashion writer, and we're here to uncover the ways that your personal style is so much more than just clothes.
Whether you realize it or not, what you wear touches on science, psychology, culture, politics, and so much more. Today's guest is somebody who truly embodies what it means to use style as self-expression. Angel Edme is a fashion, beauty, and lifestyle creator based in New York City, known for her razor-sharp style, unfiltered honesty, and a deep passion for helping people show up as their truest, most boldest self. She started behind the camera as a storyteller, and now she's in front of it, empowering real people to reclaim their confidence through fashion, skincare, and creative self expression. Angel doesn't just serve looks, she sparks transformation. Whether she's sharing outfit inspiration, speaking truth on identity and visibility, or demystifying beauty standards, Angel brings style and substance to everything she does. Get ready for a conversation on personal power, redefining beauty, and why what you wear is never just about the clothes. Welcome to the show, Angel.
Hi, thank you for having me and thank you for that lovely intro.
Yeah, I'm so glad to finally meet you because, like,
Mhm.
I feel like I've been following you now for like over a year or so. So I haven't been on Instagram that long. So probably early since I started being on Instagram, I've been following you. Yeah, so it's really cool to finally meet you.
Yeah, no, it's been a while. Like I've been loving your stuff. I'm just like so happy to be in your presence. Like thank you for having me.
Oh,
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
It's so nice to meet you, Angel. I am
So
a big
nice to meet
fan
you.
as well from afar.
Yeah. So tell us, like, how did you get into creating content about personal style?
Wow, I really did fall into it. It was an accident. I
Hmm.
was making, this is so crazy. I was making singing videos for my friend on like TikTok, and I'd like post it once in a while. And this was like back in like 2022, I believe. And people were like asking me about like, where'd you get that shirt from? Where'd you get the So I was like, you know what? Let me like tell people where I shop and like
Uh-huh.
maybe dabble in a little bit of like fashion content. And that's how it began. It kind of went from a thing of like, oh, I'm doing this like just for the fun of it to like, oh, there are people now watching.
Hmm.
And I want to be very intentional about what I'm posting. Therefore, then like, leading to the messaging of like finding your personal style. And yeah,
Yeah.
that's kind of the journey
Wow.
there.
So how
Yeah.
did you get into personal style then?
You know, I would say so I come from a family that didn't have a lot of money, but one thing about my mom is she was like, even though we don't have a lot, we will always look presentable. We will always look like we come from something. And that's kind of like how she phrased it.
Oh.
So even like from a like being a child, I remember like going to like a Ross or like Dee Dee's, like wherever we could, and we would like scour the aisles for clothes, and we would take these items and be playful with them and find like really cool ways of styling things to kind of like in a weird way blend in, right? Because we couldn't buy the pricier clothing items, we couldn't
Mhm.
buy the trendy clothing items. So I think it's always been with me. I think it's been something that's developed over time. And as I've learned about myself and I've learned to love myself, through that, I've developed my personal style.
Mm, I love
Mhm.
that.
So your approach is really different. A lot of style creators focus on like flattering and like dressing for your body type, but you take a different approach where you focus more on styling principles. Can you
Yeah.
talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah. I mean, it's funny because for me, I hate feeling like I'm stuck in a box, but rules and tips can help guide you. So for me, with my approach, I've always wanted people to feel like they're not limited to the possibilities of what they can wear, but they can use these tips and tricks to help them formulate a cohesive look.
Hmm. Yeah.
And that's kind of how I've always seen clothes, is it's not a limitation, especially being in a bigger body, a plus size body. I think there are a lot of limitations that people want to put on people in bigger
Mhm.
bodies, but I don't think they're true. I've seen some absolutely stunning people in bigger bodies pull off outfits that they were told would never look good on them. And it doesn't come down to the piece itself, but it comes down to how they style that piece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say that that's true to, like even though like I'm not in a bigger body, I work with
Hmm.
a lot of different people and a lot of people, from, size 0 to 5X, and like nobody believes me when I say this. And this is kind of why I wanted to have you on the show, is because like when I say like it's not about your body type, it's about like how you style your clothes, like and using
Yes.
proportion and color and all of that. And then they're like, no, you were just saying that because, and I was like, I'm not speaking from my personal experience, I'm speaking from my
Mm.
professional experience. And so, this whole idea of like styling can is accessible to everybody.
100%. No, yeah, yeah. I think that's such an important word. Like, I think with what I do, I want to make fashion accessible. I
Mm,
want people to gain an understanding so that we're not gatekeeping fashion and personal style. Because I think there's real power in knowing your personal style, and I think it goes hand in hand with building your confidence and your love of self. I
mhm,
think there's a like a crossover there where you find that people who know themselves and love themselves, have an outlet to express themselves outwardly.
Hmm. And
Yeah,
and that's available to everybody.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I love that. And so like how does this mentality like change the way that you feel about your clothes and your style?
Mm. How does it change the way I feel? That's a good question. I mean, I think before any of that, right? I think there was a journey to even get to that mentality,
Hmm.
because I think there was a time where like I hid behind my clothes. So I don't necessarily know if it's the mentality that changed the way I viewed clothes, or if it was my discovery of self and self-love first that led me to experimenting with clothes, that
Hmm.
then led to me learning more and learning more about the tools that I can use to then go
Hmm.
back and express myself in that way, if that
Yeah,
makes sense.
I
It's
love
kind of like a chicken or the egg kind of situation,
Yeah.
like
yeah.
which,
Yeah.
and I can,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I can see it happening in both directions. Like you start experimenting with clothes, and then you are like, oh, I can like be more myself in these clothes.
Yes.
But then also you can be like, oh, like I really feel like I'm getting to know myself. I can wear these clothes. So it can go
Yeah.
like in both of those directions.
Yeah. Yeah. And also too, like this what you're talking about reminds me of something like one of the exercises particularly people who have or my clients who have like issues with their body and I'm not saying like but you can have issues with your body and be like a size 2 and you can have
Hmm.
issues in your body and be like a size or you can feel great in your body and be like a 5X, like
100%. Yeah.
there's not like it's not like having body issues is not necessarily tied to the shape of your body, right?
100%. Yeah.
And some of the things that I have my clients do, there's a couple of exercises, but one of them is how can I love myself more? And
Hmm.
like asking yourself that question anytime I feel like fat phobia comes like like every time I feel like I've closed the door on fat phobia, it comes through the window. And then when I close the window,
Yeah.
it comes through the chimney. And then it comes, and it's like close the chimney and it like comes at it's like always there and stuff. And so it's not a matter of like it goes away. It's a matter of like
Yeah.
learning how to face it when it happens, right? And so,
Yeah.
and one of those things is I teach my clients is like, how can I love myself more? And like what that does is that it whatever answers you come up with, and they're not allowed to say body shape things. So it's like, how can I love myself more? Take a nap, drink a glass of water, be say something nice about myself,
100%.
something along those lines so that they start doing things that express self-love. So my question for you is like you
Mhm.
talked about like learning to love yourself. So like how did that journey look like for you?
For me, that looked like journaling and
Mhm.
saying the quiet things out loud. It looked like saying affirmations every day until I believed them.
Mm,
And I think that's what really worked for me. Like I went through a period of just like really like reading, meditating, affirmations. Like I
mhm,
believe in God. Like I was doing like devotionals. Like, so I think, really being mindful
mhm,
and really listening to my internal speak was really important and a really big game changer for me. And eventually I got to this place where I felt confident in myself and who I was. And of course, confidence is not permanent. I think a lot of people think that confidence is something that you're born with, but it's
mhm.
something that you have to work towards. It's a skill and it's something that you will always have to work to have.
To maintain.
Exactly, to
Yeah.
maintain.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's kind of how it came about. It was just
Yeah.
really a lot of self-work for me.
Well, okay. So let's go. I mean, maybe this is like the backwards way of questioning.
Mhm.
What happened in like everybody has that like aha moment where they decide like, okay, I can't live like this anymore. I have to make this change. So can you tell us a little bit about like what that was like for you? Like when you decided to go on this journey of confidence and self-love and self-acceptance?
Yeah, I mean, I was in a relationship for a while. For like I was young. I was like 19 to like 20, how old was I? 22, 23, something like that. And it's when I left that relationship that I was like, okay, who am I
Mm-hmm.
as an adult? As a being on my own. And I think that's what sparked that journey for me. Because I was just like, okay, like now what? Like what? Where do
Yeah.
we go from here? And I was like, girl, we need some self-love. We need to, learn to be on our own. We have to learn how to love ourselves. And I think, yeah,
Wow.
that's
That's
how
so
that happened.
important. And that's so great that you were able to do that at such a young age, honestly, because I don't even know if I'm quite there yet. And I'm like probably, I don't know. I don't know if you're, I also think that everything you said about self-love and meditation and reflection, everything, I think it's something that your generation can really teach older generations. Like I find that I learned that from younger generations because Gen X wasn't really, taught to like do things like that. It was like not a thing. And
Mm.
so now we wonder why we're like, oh, we really need therapy now, you
Mm.
know? So yeah, I love hearing practices like that from the younger generations because it's inspiring.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you. I think it's important. I don't think it's ever, for lack of better words, too late to do that.
Yeah,
I think no matter like where you are in life and no matter like what your circumstance is, you can always go back and look inward and go, okay, what do I need in this moment?
Mm-hmm.
for
Yeah.
sure.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I think that that's so cool that you tied that in with your personal style because
Mhm.
when you love yourself, that's when you can see your own beauty. Because a lot of
Yeah.
times, like people, like they think like, oh, why do I have to do this mindset work? And I'm like, girl, like you, like we could put you in the nicest like clothes, like Chanel, like
Yeah.
a haute couture, like we can have everything made especially for you and your color. We can do all of the things.
Mhm.
But if you can't see your own beauty,
Yep. Yep.
you
That's exactly it.
you won't like it. You won't feel good in it. And and it literally has nothing to do with the shape of your body. Like it
100%.
it really doesn't because like I said, it's like I've seen people who are like stick thin and really be hard on themselves. And then some people who are like in, bigger bodies feel great and they're like confident and they're really going for it and it's just really experimental. And I think that that's just really cool. So yeah, I don't know. This is so cool.
I know, and
So,
I also think that is like a theme that keeps coming up in our episodes. We had that episode with Wale Sani. I don't know if you're familiar with him, but he's like he talks a lot about handbags, and
Mm.
that episode was so much more sort of like philosophical and deep than I ever expected. And I think we asked him something like, "What is like the number one? What's the most like this a style tip that you would give someone or something like that?" And he said the most stylish thing you can have is self-love or something like that. And I was like,
Mm.
whoa,
I
mhm,
like
love
that is
that.
so amazing. So, and it's so
Yeah.
true. And it's like sort of the theme of our podcast. Like it's always more than clothes.
yeah, yeah.
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 And it's crazy because that stuff is free. Like, and I,
Yes.
Yeah.
so I mean, maybe not
Absolutely.
learning how to do it, maybe that costs money, but like
Yeah.
loving yourself, that's always free. And that also comes across in your style too, because I can see that you're really free with your personal style and really experimental. So I guess like, what do you think is like the most important, like, I guess like styling principle, that you continually come back to in terms of making a great outfit?
Hmm. I would say, okay, I feel like this is a little unexpected because I feel like people view styling principles as rules, but I would say forget the rules.
Yeah.
Like I think like stop thinking about sizing, stop thinking about, what gender the
Hmm.
clothing is for. Like I
Hmm.
would like erase the labels
Hmm.
and just
Yeah.
have fun. Like go based on how you are feeling. And if you are stuck, that's when you bring in, okay, what are the tools in my toolkit? What are the tips and tricks that I can pull from? But like I think there's an importance in erasing labels as well, and not limiting yourself based on what size you think you should be or you are, and what however you identify and how the clothing is labeled.
Mm-hmm.
That's my number one
Yeah,
always.
forget the thing. I also feel like, like it's funny too, because like a lot of times like I'll talk with my clients and then like I'll show an outfit like in our community and stuff, and I'm like, I'm breaking the rules. I'm breaking the rules.
Yeah.
And they're like, Well, how is this working?" And I was just like, okay, so eventually, like these are to get you started, but eventually you're going to build the skills to break
Yes.
the rules. There's no quote unquote rules. These are just like guidelines to help get you started and to help you learn how to see. And then you can like sense of like, okay, this outfit needs like a focal point, like
Mm-hmm.
it's like a place where your eye like goes to, right? Or like this outfit needs more contrast or more tension, or or this needs like a pop of color. Like there's always like something, but you don't know that until you start to practice like the styling
Right.
principles in the beginning. But at the same time, it's like once you get to a certain skill level, it's like you kind of throw it all out and just say like, okay,
Yeah.
like I do my own thing.
Exactly. Like I think it's exactly that. They're meant to be the training wheels
Hmm.
for sure. And then, like you said, like once you advance, you can let those training wheels go, and you can
Hmm.
go, alrighty, like let me figure this out. Like what am I feeling in the moment? What do I want to wear? What am I craving? Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I love that. I love that. And so,
Um, what about, I'd love to hear more about your shopping process. Like, where do you shop? How do you decide what clothes to buy, what you want to buy, and how do you find them?
I think this is the most chaotic part about me. There is no method. There is no method here. I'm gonna be completely honest. Like I want to be like I only limit myself to, but no,
yeah.
I don't. I truly I mean I like to scour the internet. I love to, for the most part, I love to support smaller businesses. So I tend to lean towards those brands when I'm personally shopping for myself. And I like to thrift sometime. But I think for me, it just comes down to what I gravitate towards. And when I look at a piece, the difference between me putting it back and me purchasing it is if it can one align with my personal style, of course, like things that I think kind of relate to the styles that I'm interested in, but also if I can see the piece being used multiple ways.
Hmm.
That is very important. I'm not going to buy one piece if I only have one outfit in mind for it because I know that I'm not going to wear it often. I have to be able to see it with multiple pairs of pants, skirts, dresses. Can I wear it in a way that I haven't thought of before? Like maybe I'm wearing the top as a skirt or a headband. Like, like that's kind of what I'm thinking of when
Yeah.
I'm actually swiping my card and making purchases.
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
that. I love that. So you're saying like, how does this piece not just like light me up, but also
Mhm.
like how does it function within the wardrobe that I already have? And so
Yeah.
yeah, I can see that. I can see that. I always feel like there's like two like shopping modes. Like there is like, you have something like on your list, like I'm always reaching for this thing. And it
Hmm.
could be something like a white t-shirt. It could be something as boring as a white t-shirt. Like I just need a white
Yeah.
t-shirt to like finish off my outfits. But then, like the other day, like I was in the thrift store and like, oh my God. So I found this
Oh, that's so
leather,
cute.
like
Like,
red leather biker jacket,
I
right? And I
love
was
it.
like, where am I going to wear this?
that's fun. Oh my God, that is
Yeah.
so
It's
fun.
it's not too Michael Jackson, is it?
It
Like, I don't
is
know.
no,
Um,
no, I
Just
love
don't wear it
it.
with like one white glove and you'll be okay.
Yeah.
yeah. And so, or some like, yeah, or some rhinestone. Don't worry with rhinestones.
Yeah.
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 So, but yeah, but it's like, okay, but like this is something that I could wear with like multiple things, like,
Yes.
and so it's like, okay, so this can actually function in multiple ways, like in my wardrobe, even though it's a really loud, like crazy piece. And so
Mhm.
basically what you're saying is that and so when you see something and you fall in love with it, the questions that go through your mind is like, how does this reflect me and how does this function in my wardrobe?
Yeah. Yeah. Those are the two main questions. And I think the only time I'll make an exception of one of the two is if it's a color I really don't have a lot of. Like if I'm like, okay, like I don't really have pink in my closet and I really like it, but I don't know how it's going to function with all of the pieces,
Mhm.
then maybe I'll give myself an excuse and I'll
Mhm.
be like, we can make the purchase.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we can make the picture.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
only time I make an excuse, but otherwise it has to be something that aligns with my personal style and it has to have multiple functions.
Multiple function.
I
Yeah.
think that's really smart because I'm still to this day an impulse buyer often.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I end up buying a lot of the same things, a lot of
Mm.
caftans because I love them. And then I just end up having like a lot of one and done jumpsuits and caftans.
Mhm.
And so the styling opportunities are not as, I don't have as much opportunity for being creative as maybe I could if I had more separate pieces, but I don't know. I guess it's just my comfort zone.
Mm.
I totally understand that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very easy to fall into like something that you're comfortable with, especially when you know
Yeah.
it's something that you feel confident in. I think it's like, but like I know that this will, make me happy every time I wear it.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
I totally understand. I have been there. I think the only reason I have these limitations on myself is because I was an impulsive buyer. I think I'm becoming more like strict with myself.
I think
Yeah.
that's really smart. Maybe I'll try to adopt. I'll remember those two questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell us, where is your like who's like on your radar right now in terms of like shopping? You said you like smaller designers and stuff, like,
Yeah.
so like who's on your radar right now?
Man, I must say there are so many incredible African designers and African brands coming out right now
Hmm.
that are just doing some incredible things.
Yeah.
Um, I would say Kai Collective, who is a UK, the woman who runs it is from the UK, but I believe she's African descent, and I think the clothing is made in Africa. But yeah, Kai Collective is incredible. Their designs are all like statement pieces. They're so much fun.
Mhm.
Everything is so vibrant, so playful.
How do
Love
you spell
them.
that?
Kai, so Kia and then collective.
Kia.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. Love them.
Yeah.
I love right now I'm really into Rux a la mode. They're an African brand spelled RUK space A space LA and then mode. They're also making some really playful, fun pieces. I think I've just been really into statement pieces recently, is what
Mhm.
I'm
Yeah.
realizing in this conversation. But yeah, they're on my radar.
Yeah.
Heavy, heavy, heavy.
I mean, I've noticed that too, like resurgent, or I don't even know if it's a resurgence or an emergence
Mm-hmm.
of like African designers. And what they create is like so different from what you would see like coming out of like New York or London or someplace like
Absolutely.
this, like really like bold statement pieces. Like I saw this one, I forget her name, but she has like this like skirt and it has like this cutout going like kind of like
Oh,
this
I know who
like
you're talking about.
snake like cutout, so
Mhm.
but it doesn't like show anything, but it's like kind of transparent with like little lines, and it's just this like I've never seen like a cutout on a skirt that was like shaped like a snake, like,
Yeah.
and but it wasn't like a snake, it was like just the shape of a like a snake,
Mhm.
right? And it was, like really cool like ruffles and that are just like almost like out of this
Mhm.
world, like, and like why do you think that is?
Oh man. Well, I think it's definitely one in emergence. I think we've never seen, you know, a boom like this from Africa.
Hmm.
I think it's so cool, but I don't think it's something that they haven't had. I think they've had this the entire time, even when you look at like their tribal wear, even when you look at clothing that they would wear to like a wedding, like the way that they mold and shape their clothing always had like the really intricate, ruffles, and they always had intricate beading. I just think that they've always been so playful and they have amazing tailors out there.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And I'm actually really interested in seeing where they're going to go, because I feel like I've been seeing a lot of designers, even if they're not African designers. I've just been seeing a lot of manufacturing happening in Africa as of late. So it's gonna be, I don't know, they're ones to watch for sure.
Yeah,
It's from
yeah.
all over the continent.
Yeah.
It's all
Yeah.
over.
Are
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
guys familiar with Diara Blue?
DR
Diara
Blue.
Blue.
Dear
She's
Blue.
Senegalese, and
Mm.
she is really interesting. I wrote an article about her for Forbes a while back, and but she does a lot of patterns, a lot of prints. But she was also a math teacher, and
Mm.
she created the prints based on mathematic like equations. Like she would make a graphic representation of math equations and then create her patterns out of that. It's like
Oh,
Mhm.
one of the
snap.
most creative things I've ever seen, like super cool. And she's been around for she's been doing maybe like a decade now. And she had a lot of popularity, and this I think happened with a lot of Black designers during, the summer of the George Floyd summer 2020, was that 21 or 20
20,
2020? Sorry.
2020.
Yeah,
Yeah.
2020. And, they got a lot of Black designers got so much attention. And she got a lot of attention, hired all these people, and then the attention went away. And then so
Mm.
then she had to scale back. But she's still around and she's doing really amazing things.
Mhm.
Check her
Yeah.
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, that's so cool. So, I
So
mean,
cool.
and also too, it's like having that like size availability is as well, which I
Yes.
think is like really really cool to see. So,
Yeah.
because like
Yeah.
a lot of people like complain that there is or like I don't want to say complain. It's not the right word. Point out
Mhm.
point out to point out that like size inclusivity is like really difficult, and so like in larger bodies, like it's harder to find clothes that fit, that are cute, that are interesting in yeah. So what do you say to that?
Yeah, oddly enough, okay, so 100% size inclusivity is very difficult to find, especially right now where there are a lot of companies scaling back or closing, just based on the
Hmm.
economy and the Ozempic world that we live in.
Mm,
Hmm.
However, I will say that, you know, a lot of the brands that are inclusive are smaller brands.
mm,
So it's kind of like if you don't know, you'd be like, oh, there's so many limitations.
mm,
However, they do exist. They're just harder to find because they are smaller brands.
mm,
And a lot of the African brands at least go up to like a size 24 US.
mm,
And a lot of them also do custom sizing,
mm,
which is incredible. And that goes for anyone, right? Whether you have to be a smaller body or maybe, you happen to be like shorter or taller, they do custom sizing, which is incredible because then you can just send over your measurements and you're good.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I think it's really incredible what these smaller brands are doing and how they are showing that inclusivity is possible. It's
yeah,
just there are these bigger brands who are refusing to participate. I think the
yeah,
difficulty, though, is that it's not always accessible, whether it's because of notoriety, whether it's because of pricing. Unfortunately, the reality is that they're smaller, so
mm,
their scaling isn't as big, and that's where it becomes difficult. But
mm.
yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, so like having the accessibility in terms of like time accessibility,
Mhm.
finding these brands, and then also like price accessibility, having to
Mhm.
pay more. And so, although like I would say that like some of the brands, the African brands, they're not like outrageously priced. Like
No,
they're not like it's not like $1,000 for
no,
like
no,
a
no.
skirt. It's more like $200, which,
Yeah,
to be fair, like that, that's what clothes cost for the most
yeah,
part.
To
And
make.
so,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. And
yeah.
I think that's a mind shift change too when it comes to shopping smaller brands.
Hmm.
They're going to be more expensive because they don't have the scale, but like maybe we could buy a little less, like we
Yeah.
don't have to buy a new outfit every week. Like maybe we can be a little bit more
Precisely.
mindful about the shopping. It's hard for Americans, I think, sometimes to shift that mindset.
You could
Yeah, it's
say
like I love the shopping, and so
Yeah.
like I have a bad
yeah.
shopping habit. I'm trying to curb it, and so like I'm doing better. I'm doing better than I used to, but it's still
And
pretty.
you do a lot of thrift.
I struggle
So
too.
Yeah.
I struggle too, so I understand. I
It,
do.
it's
Yeah.
a thing. Like I live in a closet. Like I
Yeah.
don't know. It's like it's so many clothes, and I don't even know what to do with it. So yeah. So this summer you've been doing a lot of traveling, and so like yes,
Yes.
and I love seeing you went to like Scotland and to
Yeah.
Tulum and like
Yeah.
all of these places. And so what are some of your trips for your travel outfits?
Ooh, yeah. I mean, I love a comfortable piece for the airport, of course. So
Hmm.
I've been doing a lot of like baggy pieces, specifically from Lucy and Yak, their UK brand.
Hmm.
Size inclusive, love them. And they're just like comfortable, breezy, but stylish. Like that's kind of like my go-to
Yeah.
for like an airport moment. And then I've been really just like building my outfits based on where I've been going. I've been letting the place inspire me. And I've been really leaning heavy into color. And also, I've just have been, I think something that I struggled with in the past was like, for example, covering up my arms. And I think also with the clothes I'm doing, like I'm wearing now this summer, I've been really just leaning into being free of that. So I'm like a lot of sleeveless, a lot of, like midriff showing. I'm just outside.
Yeah.
Um,
good.
Love
yeah, I'm
that.
living, I'm breathing.
Yeah.
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 And
So are you saying that you just you wanted to cover up your arms, like you were feeling like you wanted to be covered and you're like letting go of that?
In the past, yeah,
In the
in the
past, yeah.
past, I definitely had a struggle with that. And
Yeah, me too.
recently, and it's something that I was working on from last year, and I made a couple videos of it, like, oh, like, going like sleeveless for a day, whatever. Like I started working on it from like last year, and this year I fully embraced it, where I'm just
Love
like,
that.
the arms are out,
yeah.
we're outside, it's hot, and we're having a great time. Like that.
Yeah, I love that. No, I
Yeah.
love that. Like you had this really cute set. It was a red set. And then you also said that you didn't wear a bra with it or something,
Oh
or
my gosh,
yeah.
yes.
It was like a red set. It was like had like like wide straps, and it was like tight in the top, but it had like tie-dye detail and then wide
Yeah.
leg bottom pants,
I have
right?
to
Yeah.
check
That
that
was
out.
from Roxella Mode. That's an African
Oh,
brand.
okay,
Uh-huh.
cool. Love that.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
then I just did I was testing out some bra hacks on
Mhm.
my Tulum trip because I have a bigger chest
Mhm.
and it's really hard to find braless options. But
Mm.
something like that, because it had so much structure, I just did a bandeau. I wore a bandeau with it and it was fine.
That's so cool. I
Is
love
that the
that.
one with the silver shoes? I'm looking at it right now.
Silver shoes.
It has like, is it like a tie-dye like half circle kind of a thing?
Yes,
Yeah, that
yes.
is so cute.
That one's
That's
from
really
Roxella Mode.
that's really inspiring because I struggle with the no bra thing as well.
hmm
So yeah, thank
Yeah.
you for
And
that.
Yeah, I just did a bandeau and I just sized two sizes down, and
Oh,
it
okay.
held the girls in.
Oh, like so a
Mhm.
bandeau that was not meant to be a bra. It was just meant to be like a tube top, like we used to call
Yes.
it in back in the
Mm,
day. Okay. That's a
Yeah.
good idea.
yeah.
Okay.
Bandos are
Love
hmm
it.
really helpful. And
They
so, yeah.
are.
Yeah, I had a breast reduction like in like 2017 or something like that, a
Mm.
medically necessary breast reduction, I guess. And like
hmm
because I was like a 36H or something. And so that was like, and then I still have like the dents like in my shoulders, and it's been like 5 years. They never went away. So, but like I remember just not being able to like I had all these hangups about like, like I can't like go braless. Like
Yeah.
these girls have a mind of their own. Like they will do
Yeah.
things. So, I don't
No,
know. So,
100%.
yeah. So, but like like a good thing is like having things with structure to like to
Yes.
take in. And so like that's so cool. I love that. And so, and I also think that it's one of the things that a lot of I've noticed some of my clients be like, when they are feeling insecure about their body, they feel like if they just cover or hide,
Mm,
it makes them look better. And it
yeah.
just like, it doesn't make them look better. It just makes them look like they're hiding. And so like,
Yes.
so things like happen, like your arms showing, like even it doesn't, when you're just like confident, like it looks
Yeah.
good. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter. Like it looks good. It's like when you're feeling good about yourself.
Yeah, and anyone
Yeah.
who's nitpicking your arms is someone that you don't need in your life or in your living brain.
100%.
I mean, please.
Yeah. And a lot of times it's yourself. Like I've never had someone be like, I hate your arms. Like, you know what I mean?
Seriously.
But like, and that's the thing, I'm like, you are your worst enemy. And
Totally.
like the outfits I've been wearing that have been sleeveless have been so fun and like some of my favorite outfits I've had. So,
Mm.
you know, I don't think it's a thing that you have to do it dramatically or drastically. Like you don't have to just go one day, okay, I'm waking up, I'm wearing a strapless top. Like, but it's
Mhm.
something that you can slowly work yourself towards. And you're gonna have your bad days where you're just like, oh, I really don't want to do it. But I think there is importance of in pushing yourself to
Mhm.
do something out of the box, something that you might not be completely comfortable with yet, but something that you want to work towards.
Yeah, I love
Mhm.
that. I love that. And so, I mean, because it's like we all like have something to be working towards, and like
Yeah.
freedom is like you might as well be working towards freedom because
Okay.
like
Yeah.
that's so important. And so,
Yeah.
okay, so I guess like I mean, we talked about this, but I feel like we talked about this and I had this like question for you. Like, what advice would you give to somebody struggling with their body issues and are afraid to wear the clothes they love?
Mm-hmm. I would say, okay, let me think. Because I have a couple answers. I think one, you got to face it. You have to journal, or you at least have to say the quiet thing out loud. Really question where that's coming from. Because I think a lot of times, you know, we have like surface level comments about ourselves, opinions about ourselves, outlooks on parts of ourselves, or
Mm-hmm.
why or why or why we can't do something. And I think it's important to question why and where that come from,
Hmm.
because that's the root problem. The root problem is not you wanting to cover up your arms. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like
Yeah.
what is the actual issue there? And then I think once you figure out that actual issue, make a plan to push yourself out of it. I think sometimes it does take pushing yourself to experiment and just try it. You can try it and be like, you know what? I'm not doing that again. That's the
Yeah.
worst that can
Yeah.
happen
Yeah.
Yeah.
is you just look back and you're like, oh man, I'm not gonna do that again. But
Yeah.
at least you tried it.
Mm. I love
You
that.
know, just
Yeah.
try it once. Try
Yeah.
it twice.
Try.
And
Yeah.
if after the second time, if you're like, I don't know, it's not for me, then
Hmm.
it's not for you, but make sure it's coming from a genuine place and not a place of judgment on yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I think most of the times, like when you are critical of yourself, they come from like different places, like
Yeah.
whether it's like your mom or your
Mhm.
grandma or, some weirdo at school that says
Yeah.
weird things, like, and it comes to you and you're like, oh, I didn't realize like that's not
Yeah.
even me. That's like somebody else and like their thing, right? And so and that was probably from them coming from somebody else, and so and
Hmm.
it just, is like lingering around. And so just like, say it out loud, acknowledge it, say thank you very much. You've helped me survive, and then
Yeah.
move on and try to work out of it. That's so cool. I love
Yeah.
that.
Because then once you get to the root, it's like, okay, Sally from middle school told me that I shouldn't have, I don't know, red hair. So I never wore red hair. Should Sally from middle school be allowed to dictate what I can and can't do now?
No.
No.
And you look
That's
great
why I'm
with
like,
red
you have to.
hair.
Thank you. I was like, what can I say? Um,
So cool. I'm so
yeah,
envious. I'm so envious. Like, yeah, I wish like I used to do red hair, but like my skin
yeah.
tone, like it looks more green when I wear red hair. And so like I
Oh,
look like I have green skin when I wear
oh,
red
interesting with your
hair
Oh,
undertones.
and stuff. Yeah. And then when I try to
Mm,
go blonde, like I can't go blonde either. So I'm stuck with brown.
Oh,
That,
but you
that's
look
it.
great with brown.
Thank you. Brown and gray. So, but yeah, I love your hair. It's
Thank
really
you.
pretty.
Thank you.
So yeah. So where can people find you?
Ooh, okay. I am on Instagram and TikTok and YouTube under Angel_Edme, my last
Mhm.
name. And then I also, oh, my new favorite love is Substack. I love Substack. I have a Substack. I write articles about clothes and my travels and beauty, and it's been so much fun. Please, yeah. It's my page is called Things I Don't Gatekeep.
Oh,
And
I love
it's
that.
Awesome.
just, yeah, yeah. It's a
And you
great
talk about the
source.
designers there too, that you're, yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
Okay,
So if
cool.
you're ever like, oh, I'm looking for, I just released an article a couple weeks ago about like wedding guest dresses, and I have one coming up about bathing suits that I've worn and love, and yeah, we're just building a small little community over there, and I'm obsessed with it right now. Yeah,
So cool. I
That's
love it.
awesome.
thank
God.
you.
Well, thank you. Well, thank you for joining us today. It was such a pleasure to meet you and like to talk to you finally.
Thank you for
So,
having
Thank
me.
you
It's
so
so great to
much.
thank
talk to
you.
y'all.
All right,
Yeah, thank
cool.
you.